Hello everyone, this is John Matrixx and you're watching John Matrixx Talks Movies. So tonight, or today, wherever you are in the world, we are going to be talking about Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Is this movie bad? Is it good? Or is it underrated? That's the question. Well, I saw this movie when it came out in 2005. Of course, this is the final movie in the prequel trilogy showing how Anakin Skywalker finally turns into Darth Vader, the guy in the suit that we all know and love from the original trilogy. Um, the movie starts off near the end of the Clone Wars. You get to see the relationship of Anakin and Obi-Wan Kenobi. You do get more in depth on their relationship if you actually watch the Clone Wars. I highly recommend, if you have not seen the Clone Wars series, to watch the Clone Wars. Actually, I would watch episode 1, then episode 2, then the Clone Wars series, and then episode 3. Okay? But to get back on topic, I found this movie to be one of the most underrated movies of all time. Yes, it is one of the most underrated movies of all time. Actually, it is probably one of the 2 or 3 best Star Wars movies of all time. Yes, it is better than The Force Awakens, better than The Last Jedi. It is better than Rogue One. Now the debate could be, is it better than the 3 original movies? If I had to rank this movie, I would actually say I always have a soft spot for Return of the Jedi because that's the first Star Wars movie that I've seen. So I'll go Return of the Jedi 1. I will go Empire 2, then I would go Revenge of the Sith 3. Now, that could flip-flop a little bit. Now, some of the best parts of this movie that I really like, hats off to John Williams. His score in this movie was absolutely amazing. We got the Battle of Heroes theme. Also, you get Duel of the Fates that comes back. But you hear Battle of Heroes playing when Obi-Wan and Anakin have their duel, and when Yoda and Palpatine have their duel as well. It's probably the most dark Star Wars movie that has been made. I really wished, in a way, but the movie is PG-13. You actually do get to see Anakin through a hologram killing younglings. That would probably be. I could see why part was kind of trimmed down and cut down throughout the movie, because overall the movie, as Star Wars movies from George Lucas' point of view, is for children. You can't exactly put that on screen and expect little kids to watch that. So I understand why they did that. I really did love the Obi-Wan and Anakin battle, especially that little speech. Well, not necessarily the speech, the dialogue between them before they duel. Obi-Wan tells him only a Sith deals in absolutes. I love that. That is really, really an amazing thing. And he pulls out his lightsaber, and Anakin says, "You will try," and then they go into the battle. It's by far the longest lightsaber battle in all of Star Wars. And the dialogue after the battle is over, once Obi-Wan cuts down Anakin, Obi-Wan's spiel about "you were the chosen one," it was said you would destroy the Sith, not join them, bring balance to the Force. And when he said, "You were my brother Anakin, I loved you," the way Obi-Wan says it is so emotional, and Anakin's reply is, "I hate you." Now, that actually, that scene was kind of foreshadowed up on earlier in the movie, because Anakin actually has nightmares about Padmé dying, and he goes to Master Yoda for advice, and Master Yoda tells him to be careful when assessing the future. Um, Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hatred, hatred leads to suffering. So you saw how Anakin went from fear to anger to hatred. And when he told Obi-Wan, "I hate you," you saw his full hatred. And then he's suffering in the suit for the rest of his life. So I like how George Lucas really tied that in to the movie. You also get to see the birth of Luke and Leia. That was really cool. That was actually probably one of the best sequences that George Lucas made for this film. We actually see Darth Vader getting pulled together, and then it shoots over to Padmé giving birth and dying, and then you see Darth Vader back on the slab rising up. That was absolutely perfect. Very, very perfect. Now, one of the things I did not like, and this has always really bothered me, I wish we got a better explanation. I'm not upset that Padmé died, is how she died. The medical droid says that she lost the will to live. Okay, it's a medical droid. I don't think the droids have emotion like that. I don't think they can sense emotionally, oh yeah, you just want to die. That doesn't make any sense. I really did not like that. I just wish that the droid would have just said, for some reason that is unknown to us, we're losing her. She just died. We didn't need she lost the will to live. Because if you go back to Palpatine's teachings, that's another scene that kind of foreshadows, that what's going to happen with Padmé. And that's actually one of the strongest scenes in all of Star Wars, when Palpatine is telling Anakin about the tale of Darth Plagueis the Wise, and how he can actually use the midichlorians to influence the Force to create life. And that really kind of starts Anakin on his path to, trying to save Padmé from his dreams, but he can't save her, and she ends up dying anyway. We know that she just died. She just died in childbirth. That's nothing unusual. I mean, it happens in the real world. Women die in childbirth. They just don't lose the will to live. So that's enough about that. It was really cool to see Order 66, which is basically a protocol that's implanted into the clone troopers to kill the Jedi. Now, if you actually watch the Clone Wars, you actually see the reason and why I can't pronounce the name. The people from Kamino, why they actually implanted that protocol into the clone troopers. If you actually watch Clone Wars, Lord Tyrannus or Count Dooku had them implant the chips into the clone troopers. In the case of rogue Jedi, that's at least what they were told. If Jedi just go rogue and start betraying the Republic, that's the reason why. But you don't see that in Revenge of the Sith. You have to watch that in Clone Wars. But it is pretty cool because the Jedi were pretty much caught off guard and they were just wiped out. That's why I always said that Palpatine, not Darth Vader, is the best villain in all of Star Wars. Granted, we don't see him until Empire Strikes Back, but that's not the same Ian McDiarmid Palpatine initially. Ian McDiarmid is Palpatine in the special editions, which are actually canon now. But really, we didn't see him until Return of the Jedi, and that's when I saw him for the first time. And I was what, 6 years old, and you're talking about I was scared to death of this guy. That's how great Ian McDiarmid is as Palpatine. And if Vader is kneeling to you, I have to give you your props. That's how great a villain he is. So overall, Revenge of the Sith gets a 8.5 out of 10 to me. It is really the most underrated movie. When it came out, the reviews on it were really, really good. The prequel hate kind of started later on, and Revenge of the Sith kind of got tied in with The Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones. Revenge of the Sith is far superior to those two movies. Very far superior. I was actually hoping that George Lucas would actually make, more movies after Revenge of the Sith, about hunting down Jedi, things like that. Something that was spin off of Revenge of the Sith, but unfortunately he sold the company, so that was never going to happen. Well, that's my take on Revenge of the Sith. Let me know what you think of the movie in the comments section. If you're new here, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time on the next review.